Hi guys, loads happening on the market this week, so there's a lot to unpack. I've had my best trading week so far, but also my most demanding in terms of being glued to a screen, so I'm feeling pretty burnt out, but the work I've put in, it has paid off, and the amount of knowledge and learning that I've gained, not only from trading, but also some real nuggets of information dropped by Roland Wolf this week, so the learning has been invaluable. So this week we had sector momentum, with all the oil stocks popping off with the war with Iran, and Roland Wolf has made a large portion of his money down to sector momentum, so it was the best person to learn from this week and see his take on the market and the way that he traded it. And I've got a real love-hate at the moment with sector momentum, because on one hand, if you know how to trade it, it can be the best opportunity to make the most amount of money. But on the other hand, it's going to be extremely demanding, very hands-on. You need to be glued to that screen, and also a bit chaotic and overwhelming. That part is probably more down to my inexperience with it. So the first time I saw a bit of sector momentum, not as much as this week, but was last June. And all the oil stocks popped off then, and I traded it so badly. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Very overwhelmed by that. But I learned from it, and this time I managed to make money off it. So really proud of myself for the improvement for the first time I saw it to the second time. I also this time left a lot of money on the table, but again, that's part of the learning process, and I think if I see it again in the future, even though it's still going on at the moment, I'll know how to really nail it and maximise my profits, because I've learned a lot from it. So going to look at the oil sector momentum today, and also a couple of third day surge setups that I took, which were separate to the sector momentum that was going on. So let's go to the charts. So as I said, we had all the oil stocks popping off this week, and the first trade that I took, I actually got a bit chopped up on and took a loss, which was RUBI, and all the oil stocks were going. This had this spike pre-market, it's hovering around $1, and I got a bit chopped up trying to play it off $1, and then it spiked pre-market up to like 30%, but I didn't get any off because I thought this could go way higher. So I took a few losses on that, and then as you can see, after hours that day it did rip like 90%. So I was in the right area, but it just kind of behaved a bit wacky. So that's how I started off my trading week. So that's not that kind of messed me up a bit in terms of like mindset of like, do I know what I'm doing here? So the next trade I took, and I didn't take that many trades this week to be honest, but I traded this like a few times. So we're going to go into BATL, which was a big runner pre-market. So you can look at the daily chart here. This is kind of its big move here, and can see like it's continued on and on up to $30 from like, you know, $3-4. So this was the first trade that I made a profit on this week. So you can see it's spiking pre-market, and all the oil stocks are going, and I'm thinking, well, there's nothing for me to trade here, but it had this really nice pullback, and I'm thinking there's opportunity here because this is what's currently moving, and so this has had a pullback. This is the chance to get in and sort of ride the wave a little bit. So when I saw it break down this pre-market low and reclaim it, I took an entry 877, and because I'm looking at this like a day one move, which I hate trading, so I'm just not very good at them, I sold out way too soon, also because I'd taken some losses on RUBI. I was a bit more cautious, and I just took like a 15% gain on this, and I did think to myself I should probably be swinging this, but I think I underestimated like what sector momentum is, and like these things, you know, they can run for days. If the momentum continues, obviously it can fade just like that as well. So I just took, as I said, a 15% gain on that one. I'll still take it, but obviously this has ran to like $30, and you know, my best sell was 12 something. My average sell was like 10, 13. So that was that one. And then gonna go into stack. So this is where I did capitalize a bit more on the sector momentum. So let's go on to the daily chart. This was in the oil sector as well. Big day one, continuation on day two, and then this pullback here on its day three. And then I am playing it for a bounce on this day. So the reason this is appealing is because it's had a nice big run, it's had a very nice pullback, and also there is sector momentum behind this. So the price of oil is still going up at this point, so there's a good chance this is going to have a big bounce. So let me go into the intraday chart. Yeah, here's its run up, its pullback, and then it's come down to this level here, 60s, which is kind of some support on this day here, an area of resistance pre-market here on its day one. And just zoom in a bit more, I'm playing it on this day and I'm trading it pre-market because it's hovering around the previous day's close, and it does break it a little bit. And also, as I said, the price of oil is still going up, so because it's had such a big pullback, there's a good chance this is going to have a nice bounce. So I got in this one at 0.6218, such a nice price actually, somewhere around there. And then market opened and it was halting upwards, and I managed to take, I think my best sell was around 97 on this one. Again, could have let it ride a lot more, but I ended up taking a 41% gain on this trade. So that's really, really nice. What else did I trade was NPT. This was actually, don't think this was actually related to oil, but it's just a nice day to move. So daily chart over here, nice move on high volume and a continuation on day two. So the reason I traded this because it had a nice day one, this big spike after hours says to me that this has got strength and it might want to push more. Day two plays have been in play in the last few weeks, so it's also still on my radar because of that. And then we're going to the 1 minute chart. Trading it pre-market here, it wants to hold above the previous day's close, so I'm getting in 10.50 on this one. And then this is roughly, I think this was halting up as well actually. And then I took a 30% gain on this. Again, I can't remember where my actual sales were off the top of my head, but yeah, 30% on that one. That wasn't related to the oil sector, so we're going to go back to the oil sector. So as I said, I traded STAK for a bounce. Also traded TPET for a bounce, very similar to Stack. So it's had that 2-day run, big pullback, exactly the same as STAK, and then that bounce here on its day 4. And didn't trade this one very well. Yeah, let's start on the 5 minute. So here's its run up, its pullback, and I'm trying to play it on a bounce on this day. As you can see, it's fading in and out of the $1 area, which is obviously always an area of interest. And I played this wrong because I was trying to play it off $1. And well, I didn't play it wrong. It's just I could have got in earlier. Because if you look at day 1, it dipped and had support below $1 at 92. So it's not that crazy that this would also do a similar thing on its bounce day. So real edge would have been to get in down here in the 90s. But as I say, yeah, I got in at a good price. I think I got in at 101. But again, down to inexperience. I just took a 15% gain on this. So this, my best sell was like, I think it was 149, 150, something like that. I did tell myself I need to keep shares and just let this ride, but I just wanted to lock in, so that's what I did. And obviously that ripped so much higher, but that's the learning curve for me. So next time I play these and the sector momentum hadn't gone away, the price of oil was still going up, so that really is the bit I missed out. Really, I could have known if those things are still going up, I should be holding this and getting a much bigger bounce. But again, I've not seen this happen enough to know how these things move and how much they can run. So learned a lot from trading this, and also Roland Wolf was explaining his take on things and how he was trading it. So got some real nuggets there as well. So that was the kind of oil sector. As I say, if we just sort of look at the daily chart, these things are still moving up, and it's looking potentially for a breakout next week. Could continue going higher. I'm very unlikely to trade that, but if there's a pullback, there might be chances for more bounces. So let's go to the couple of third day surge setups that I took. It's kind of a long video, but I think there's a lot of information to put out there on it. So AIFF, this is completely unlinked to sector momentum. So day one, nice big day one. Nice pullback, but not too much on day two. Nice drop off in volume. And I'm playing it here for this surge on day three. So if we go on to the intraday, and why this is appealing as well, this one was actually top on my radar because of how it's set up on the daily chart. But also third day surge setups have been in play. So that makes this even more likely to work. So we're going to go on to the 1 minute. So big day one, nice pullback on day two. I ideally like this to stay around this level for after hours and pre-market on its pre-market on day three. I want it to still be down here, but often you do see them grind up and I have to play them a little bit differently. So I am playing it pre-market on this day, and I can see it wants to hold again off the previous day's close, which again seems to be a theme at the moment. Yeah, so got in at 146, very nice price. As I say, don't love trading this area. I find it can be a bit choppy, so I'm always in two minds about whether to trade that, but because the daily chart set up so nicely and this setup's in play, I took a stab on that one. And then it's had this lovely, actually a bit of a pullback down to that area on market open before it eventually ripped. And my best sell I think was 209, and I took just trying to see what I took on this, 33% gain on this trade. So really nice gain, very happy with that. And I did put decent size on it, but I wish I put more. But the reason I didn't is I feel like there's always a reason why I'm not putting more size on these. The reason is because I was in another trade at the same time, which can be very overwhelming when you're trying to look at two stocks just before market open as well. But also it's this red-green area, which isn't my favourite. So that was stopping me from doing full size. And also the fact that I was in another trade, which we'll look at as well, which was DXST. Similar setup. So going to go on to the daily here. This is its day one. Day two here, pullback, very similar. And then this massive surge on day three. So again, if we go to the intraday chart, here's its day one, nice pullback. Now this is what I like to see, this lovely base here. That's just so perfect. And also cross-referencing with this area of resistance here, a little bit of support here as well. But yeah, you've got support here, support here, support here, support here. And this is just setting up for such a nice squeeze. So pre-market on the day that I played it, if I need to probably zoom in on this. So it's already kind of spiking upwards and operating in this range here rather than down here. But yeah, I just wanted to get in anywhere I could really, and obviously keeping my risk tight as well, which was going to be the previous day's low of day. So I managed to get in 0.1565, really nice entry, risking off the previous day's low of day. And again, I wanted to put more size on this, and I still got okay size on it, but the reason I didn't, again, was because I was in the other trade, and also this is a Chinese ticker. So again, it just messes it up for me because Chinese tickers can behave strangely, and I have to be cautious when I trade them. So I think, obviously, I made the wrong decision because these things ripped the way I thought they would, but I don't mind myself being cautious for those reasons. I feel like my reasons are valid, and also trying to manage 2 trades at the same time is extremely demanding, and you have to have a lot of concentration. So anyway, market opened and this ripped, and I took a 31% gain on this one. I think my best sell was somewhere around 126, something like that. And I overlooked this one again because I know that this can offer much bigger bounce because of just a few things really, or the way it's set up, the volume, price range. But yeah, I think I was just too focused on both trades that it just felt a bit frantic to me. So I locked in way sooner than I should have. And as you can see, that continued all the way up to 37 cents. So massive, massive bounce. It's taken a 31% when I could have taken, like a 100% move. Obviously, I'm not going to sell it all at 100%, but yeah, definitely left money on the table there. So there's some sector momentum information there, and also some 3rd day setups that I took as well. So I've had a great week on the market, but my nervous system did take a hit with all the adrenaline and screen time. I actually prefer a quieter market where I can just snipe out the good trades rather than this sector momentum that's going on. But I imagine the more that I see it, the more I'll get comfortable with it. So going into next week, the oil sector may continue. Bear in mind, this video is filmed a week behind. So I'll probably only trade it if there's a big pullback and I can trade it for a bounce, which is the setup that I'm most comfortable with. Other than that, I'll probably just let it play out because I'm still new to this and I'm still learning. So thanks very much for watching. Catch you next Sunday.